Welcome back to Navigating AI with Apex Blue. I'm Lyric, your resident storyteller-in-chief. Today we're talking about doing more with less. How to get useful AI outcomes with the smallest, safest dataset possible. Picture this. A founder trims a sign-up form down to 3 fields, launches in 2 weeks instead of 2 months, and their customers actually said, with relief, "Thank you for not asking so much." That's the hook. Less data, faster results, and trust that pays back.
I keep saying humans love this stuff when customers get a simpler experience. Today, we'll build the Data Minimalist playbook so small teams can get AI value without hoarding PII or blowing budgets. Nova, help us define what minimal signals actually means.
Pattern detected. Teams often treat data like a safety blanket. They collect everything in case they need it later. That's expensive and risky. Minimal signals are the coarse, high-signal pieces that drive decisions. Think of coarse bands like age or purchase band rather than exact birth date. Event labels like viewed product or completed checkout. And outcome tags like churned or converted. Those 3 classes are usually enough to power suggestions and predictions.
3 practical rules for what to never collect. First, never store full identifiers unless absolutely required. Second, avoid free text PII in logs. Third, do not collect fine-grained location data when a city or region will do. These rules reduce risk without killing usefulness.
I'll push back gently. Never should be a careful word. We can make never collect operational by using hashed tokens and reversible keys at the edge. That way you don't centralize raw names or emails, but you can relink in authorized cases if the business needs to follow up. Deploying now, hashed ID, local key storage, and minimal retention windows gives both utility and control.
Let's streamline this. Tie each field to a downstream function. If full email is only used for marketing blasts, don't collect it for predictive models. If you need follow-up, plan a manual handoff triggered by a flagged case. Systems never sleep, but we can choose what we wake up for.
I love that. Tie each field to a downstream function. That's a sentence I want on a sticky note. Nova, walk us through retention heuristics. How long is long enough for minimal data?
Clarity achieved. Retention should be purpose-limited and tiered. Keep high-signal event labels for a short modeling window, 30 to 90 days depending on your product cadence. Keep pseudonymized outcome tags longer if you need historical benchmarks, but store them as aggregated metrics rather than per-user timelines. And always apply a rolling delete or archive policy so you're not holding raw evidence longer than necessary.
Also have 3 tiers: live inference data, seconds to days, short-term model training windows, weeks to months, and aggregated analytics, months to a year, that are anonymized. That balances model accuracy with regulatory and cost concerns.
Those tiers make it feel less scary for founders. Now, one of the podcast's risks is over-minimizing and losing signal. Selected Idea points that out. How do we avoid stripping so much that AI becomes useless?
Mitigation is straightforward. Start with a minimal plus pilot. Keep one workflow, remove only non-essential fields, and run AI in suggest-only mode. Compare suggestion quality to your baseline. If accuracy collapses, you reintroduce the smallest missing signal, not the entire dataset. Projecting the next move here means iterate conservatively with measurable comparison points.
Architecting the fix. Engineering patterns that let you test quickly. First, edge enrichment. Collect the minimal data client side and enrich at the edge with ephemeral attributes. Then send only the hashed token and summarized event to central services. Second, ephemeral evidence bundles. Tie inference calls to short-lived bundles that auto-expire. Third, local first inference when possible, so user context never leaves their device unless consented. I'll add cost-lowering tricks, batch inference to reduce API calls, compressing event payloads, and using coarse categorical bins instead of high cardinality variables. Precision wins when you remove noise and you cut API spend at the same time.
Order creates momentum. From ops, those patterns translate into SOPs. Who rotates keys, how long ephemeral bundles live, and who has the authority to relink hashed IDs. For a small team, assign a pilot owner, a technical lead, and a human-in-the-loop reviewer, so nobody feels like control vanished overnight.
Okay, marketers and founders, how do we explain this to customers without sounding like legalese? I'll take that. Plain language framing. Say, we only use the information that helps us give you better suggestions, nothing extra. If you prefer, we can show you how we respect your data. That phrasing highlights benefit and control. This needs sparkle. Make it friendly and simple.
Quick technical note. When you promise we only use what helps, make sure your logs and telemetry actually reflect that. If engineering still collects raw fields for debugging, your promise breaks. So provide a dev-facing checklist that mirrors customer-facing language.
Let's optimize that messaging with a small trust formula. Explain what you collect, why you collect it, and how long you keep it, each in one sentence. For example, we store your purchase band so we can recommend products like the ones you love. We don't store your full address. We keep this data for 60 days to improve suggestions. Clarity achieved and trust increases.
Operationally, include an easy opt-in for richer personalization that's auditable. If a customer opts in for deeper personalization, record that consent as an event label that expires. Then the whole system is transparent and reversible. Humans are reassured they can opt out, and the team can roll back if needed.
Love that. Consent as an event label. Now, Stryker, give us the scrappy engineer's playbook in plain English. Hashed identifiers, ephemeral bundles, local first inference. Talk me through a real pattern a bootstrapped team could implement this week.
Deploying now. Step 1. Replace raw PII with a client-side hash. Use a salted hash that only your app knows. Step 2. Attach a short-lived evidence bundle to each inference call. Think 5 to 15 minutes, so logs can be reconciled for debugging but expire automatically. Step 3. Run inference locally where possible. If not, send only hashed token and summarized features to the API. For follow-ups, store a reversible mapping in a secure vault and require manual approval to relink. That pattern lets you test personalization without centralizing raw PII.
And to add governance, rotate your salts and keys regularly, log relink events with an approval trail, and store mapping keys in a hardware-backed vault if you can. Those practices prevent accidental leaks and maintain auditability.
All right, teams, here's the 21-day pilot plan I promised. Days 0 through 3, scope the workflow, map each field to a function, and pick your minimal plus fields. Days 4 to 10, implement client-side hashing, ephemeral bundles, and a suggest-only model for inference. Days 11 to 17, collect metrics, suggestion precision, storage delta, time to first suggestion, and run daily checks. Days 18 to 21, evaluate, run the rollback test, and decide whether to widen the pilot or revert. Owners, pilot lead, dev lead, and human reviewer. KPIs, suggestion precision compared to baseline, percent storage reduced, and time to value in days.
That timeline feels doable, and include a 1-week rollback plan so people know they can step back if something breaks. Pulse, tell us the stop rollback criteria in plain terms.
Stop if suggestion precision drops below a pre-agreed threshold, if storage reduction goals aren't met, or if human reviewers report more than a fixed percent of false positives needing manual correction. Rollback is simple. Reintroduce the smallest missing signal and rerun the suggest-only comparison. Keep the human in loop engaged every day for the first 2 weeks.
One more technical stopgap. Put automated monitors on model drift and payload sizes. If drift spikes or payloads grow unexpectedly, the system should auto-flag and throttle inference. That lets you pause before bad decisions surface to customers.
Okay, team, role play time. Let's simulate a purchase flow where we only capture minimal telemetry and show how personalization still feels human. I'll play the customer-facing narrator. Stryker, be the client app. Nova, you're the decision engine. Pulse, your operations watching the pilot. Ready? I'll start. Customer clicks Shop and sees 2 product suggestions. The app says, based on what other customers in your purchase band liked, here's a match. No name, no exact birthday, no street address. Just a purchase band and the event label added to cart. Stryker, what does the app send?
Client app. I send a salted hash token, the event label add to cart, a purchase band bucket, and a short evidence bundle that expires in 10 minutes. That's it. Deploying now means we never ship a raw email or full identifier to the API.
Decision engine. I match the hashed token to previous hashed events for short-term context. Run a suggest-only model using the purchase band and recent event labels, and return ranked suggestions. I log aggregated metrics for later analysis, but keep per-token history ephemeral.
Operations, I watch the dashboard. Suggestion precision is within 95% of baseline. Storage use is down 60%. Human reviewer spot checks 2 sessions and approves. No rollback needed. That's the pilot win right there. Personalized, safe, measurable.
That role play shows the experience stays personal without a data pile. Before we close, let's give listeners 3 immediate plays they can run this week. 1 tactical checklist, 1 hashed token pattern, 1 21-day pilot step. Play 1, the minimal signal checklist. Map each field to a function, mark 3 fields as essential, mark the rest as candidate removals, and get stakeholder sign-off. Keep this checklist public inside your team.
Play 2. Implement a client-side hashed token with a salted key and a 10-minute evidence bundle. Start with 1 endpoint and a suggest-only call. That pattern prevents sending raw PII while retaining the ability to correlate short-lived events.
Play 3. Kick off the first 7 days of the 21-day pilot. Assign a pilot owner, set the 3 KPIs we talked about, and run daily human in-loop checks. If you can't do the full 21-day rollout this week, at least define the signals and the stop criteria.
And a final reminder, use reversible pseudonymization where necessary, rotate keys, and document exactly what you never collect. That protects trust and keeps your options open.
All right, those are your immediate plays. For templates, scripts, and a redaction checklist, visit apexblue.com/dataminimalist. Try the Minimal Plus pilot, compare before and after, and let data guide your next move. Stay smart, stay curious, and stay ahead.